Is Lorna ready to go? We're back, guys. It's kind of a short break, but we're back. So next up we have Tito, but Ellen's trying to call her and she's kind of not in line. But is Lorna on the phone? Lorna? Okay, Lorna, you have it. I'll try to get a hold of Tito and she can probably go up next. So, but what's new at the tribal college?
Okay. Well, first of all, I just want to commend you guys. I've been listening in, and it's really nice to hear all the good things that are happening throughout the reservation. So, way to go, you guys. Up here at the college, we came back to campus in February. Classes are still kind of hit and miss. A lot of people got pretty comfortable using Zoom for their classes, so we left that up to the individual instructor and their students as far as whether they're on campus or continue to use Zoom. So it's pretty quiet around here yet, but the staff are all back. We're in the process right now of getting some of that funding straightened out. We just got word from BIE this week on the HERF funding, and that was funding that was approved back in December. And the college will receive $2.6 million from that. So now we're anticipating what's going to happen with the new SURSA funds. Those should be starting to come in pretty soon too. The new funds have a little better guidelines to them, but in reality, there's still so many darn strings attached to them that we have to be so careful that we can connect it to COVID. So we're still struggling with that a little bit. It's nice to have those funds, and we could really do some awesome things with them, but those strings are holding us back. So we're finishing up the spring semester right now. That'll be ending, well, we're just at the halfway point. I shouldn't say finishing up. We just had spring break this week, so it's halfway through the spring semester. It's going pretty good. We should be on track to end on schedule in May. And this year, we're hoping to have our graduation ceremony as scheduled. And so right now, tentatively, of course, that's Thursday, May 6th. It'll all be dependent upon COVID. We're projecting that there's going to be 24 students that'll be walking in the commencement. So we're pretty excited about that. Yeah, that was really great. We're just finishing up our fiscal year 20 audit. The draft was presented just this week to the COTs. We have a clean audit with no material findings, so that's good. They just had to finish up testing on one more program, and then they're going to finalize that, so we should be done with that very soon. We're continuing to work on expanding our customized ed. They're working on a CNA course, and we had an EMT course. Our REAL has been on campus. They've completed 2 cohorts with 4 students in each with hands-on training for solar installation. So there's 8 people out there looking for opportunities on solar right now. I don't know if we have any projects going on with that for them or not. Right now they have a 15-hour course that's being offered for computers, the basics of Microsoft Word, Excel. Last time we tried to offer this one and it was canceled because of lack of enrollment. So we're really hoping that enough people are interested in joining that class this time so we can continue to have it. The classes are open to anyone, and you don't have to be a student here or anything like that. It's open to anyone in the community. There's a small $25 fee to help cover the cost, but if you're eligible for one of those programs, we just cover that with the program funding too. So it's out there if anyone's interested. This fall, we're hoping to add an Ojibwe language certificate program. The certificate will include 4 Ojibwe Moan classes, Anishinaabe culture, and an immersion course. And we're also working with the University of Minnesota to begin an Ojibwe early education bachelor's program as well. So that's tentatively slated to start in 2022. So it'll be the year after. The college is not going to be holding summer classes this year. We're going to be focusing our efforts on the upcoming HLC visit that we have in November. So we have some work to get done on that yet to make sure that we're ready when they show up here in November. But at the same time, we're going to get ready for the fall semester, and we're just praying right now that COVID allows us to get back to a normal school year, which so far it's looking really good. So we have our fingers crossed. So that's about it for up here. If there's any questions I can help with.
Laura, this is Michael Fairbanks. How's your extensions program going over there? So
the extension has been focusing on food sovereignty. I'm sure you guys already know the reservation's been considered a food desert, really. So they have a lot of seedlings going on right now, and seed packages that they're going to be getting out to the community. They did some of that last year, and it went over really well. So they'll have plants available, and they'll be helping people with their gardens and seeds, and then of course we have our gardens here on campus too. Last year they were able to provide some of the food for the kitchen with, straight from the garden. So they're going to be expanding upon that as well.
Yeah, why I asked for it, because I know next door at the chip factory, we hopefully start growing our medicinal marijuana, and we were looking at maybe getting some students to come over to just help that process, to getting those seedlings and getting our nursery up and going. So we're looking at maybe some internships or some, something to do with help growing, getting our growing process going over there. So that's just something where the council and also enterprises, and the Wabigoon Mishkiki program is looking at maybe using some students to help over there. So that'll be good if we can collaborate with the college on some of this medicine, this positive medicine that's coming down the line here. So then Alan has a question for you too. So
thank you, Mr. Chair.
So in regards to the interns, in regards to the interns, that's absolutely a possibility. Just let us know when you guys are ready for that, because we often have some work study money that we can actually pay them too. So just keep us informed on that, and we'll work with you all we can on it.
Miigwech, Lorna.
Yeah, Lorna, it's Alan. Say,
Hi.
thank you for your report. I just was hoping to try to connect with you again. I know you're just talking about the gardening and some of the ag. Biden put in a $4 billion social justice ag bill that got passed for, and in there, a lot of indigenous people can get into farming. Matter of fact, I think they even got $1 billion available just to help with the certification, training, grants, all kinds of stuff to get involved with agriculture and our farming. And I know today the RBC is going to be discussing some of the ag leases that the tribe has. And so if you're interested in, some of those ag leases, just let us know, because the farm season is coming up. We want to make sure that, tribal members or friends of the tribe are utilizing these lands. And so that could be a great training opportunity there for that. And also the Farm Service Agency, FSA, the head of that now is, I think, a Cheyenne River Sioux former chairman. And he's in charge of all that $4 billion. So he understands tribal communities. He understands all of that. And there's a lot of opportunity there for. I looked it up, and under the Farm Service Agency regulations, if you have a mentor and some of these other qualifications, socially disadvantaged farmers such as Indians that are trying to get into farming or agriculture, they can qualify up to $300,000 for a 1% operating loan over 40 years. They can also qualify for $600,000, no money down, for 40 years at 1% as well. So there's all this money that's available for our people, and that does not include the $1 billion that's going to be made available to all of us here soon. So I'm quite excited about that. And then the other thing I was hoping to come meet with you here, the other thing, I brought it up yesterday, was USDA Section 502 home ownership. Section 502 discusses trying to move people to rural areas. And if you're a family of 5 and you make less than $124,000 a year, you don't have to put any money down. You can get a home. They'll pay for it. They'll finance a home. You won't have to. They don't even rely on credit scores if you don't have credit history or anything like that. I didn't know about these programs until recently, so I was hoping to maybe start a conversation with you on trying to maybe get some education or literature or reaching out to the community there, because that's a big deal. Even maybe in the tribe, because I know we have a lot of employees that suffer with home ownership or homes. Maybe the tribe one day can help them get in touch with the USDA and help them out with that home ownership process, because that's a big deal. Stable housing is a big deal. So I didn't know these USDA programs existed until recently, but hopefully we can schedule something. Thank you.
I haven't heard about the USDA home one either, but that's interesting because we had a couple new faculty that we hired up here at the college last fall, and they couldn't even find a home in Monoma. They ended up moving out to Ada and Twin Valley because there was no houses even available here in Monoma in the immediate area.
Yeah, and this 502, it incentivizes you to move to a rural area where there is no homes. So you can just build a new home. Matter of fact, they don't want you to buy an old home. They want you to build new. So this is quite a unique program. I'll follow up on that and see what I can find out. We have a USDA contact that's really good to work with down in DL. So I'll have her connect me with whoever's doing the housing stuff.
Which Lorna?
Lorna, I'm calling too for EMP and our elderly about getting grow boxes. Is your program do that?
Oh, the EMP is interested in the boxes?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll have, so Lisa Bruner is in charge of our extension program. I'll pass that on to her and have her reach out to them. I'm sure that we can work something out. That's a good idea too, yeah.
That'd be great.
There's a lot of things. Yeah, like Alan, you mentioned that egg stuff and farming stuff and all of that, and that's all leading to the fact that we're gonna eventually have some food problems, not just here on the reservation, but everywhere. And that's one of the things that Lisa and her staff have been focusing on, is trying to get ahead of that a little bit, because all of the data and research is indicating that we're going to have some severe food shortages in the not too distant future here. So we're trying to encourage people to learn to grow their own, and then take it, to preserving it and saving it so that they have it throughout the year too. And you were talking about the farm things. So we don't get into a lot of like livestock. Well, we don't get into any livestock here, but it's not that we wouldn't. I know at one time, which I think would be a really interesting project, is the tribe had talked about buffalo. And I don't remember who was working on that at the time, but it would be nice to see that become reality.
Yeah, I now that I'm thinking about it, I think tribal governments or tribes can qualify for these programs too. So, if the tribe wants, because we're talking enterprise, etc., if there's going to be food shortages, it would be nice for food sovereignty for the tribe to have its own farm, whether it's livestock or crops. That way we have our own local food source.
I think we would be smart to really sit down and start talking about that and planning for that, because again, all the research is indicating that it's inevitable that there are going to be food problems. And us on the reservation in this rural area, we seem to get impacted with those things pretty hard. But even though we're in the middle of farm country here, it's how much food is really supplied right here locally. if you have a contact with the tribal office to work with on that, I'll connect Lisa with them.
Well, it's just, we
Because
just
Lisa
started this
makes-
conversation, so, you know, maybe I'll try, was it Zach? He's the
Yep,
food
Zach
sovereignty.
Page.
So maybe Zach Page and us can link up and get coffee next week or something. Cause, I'm really kind of honing in on this. I didn't know all this stuff existed, and then that $4 billion got passed. And that's a big deal. That is a huge deal. And, there's even a separate program for socially disadvantaged farmers where they will guarantee a loan up to 95%. You just got to come up with 5%. FSA will kick in up to $300,000, and so long as you can get a private partner to go into like a commercial lender, meaning you could scale that. You know, you could start a $10 million farm and it's guaranteed at 95%. You just got to come up with 5% of it. But I'm not a farmer.
Well,
I'm just an admin.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, me too. But I would almost think that, you know, we're sitting on these COVID funds that it'd be hard to argue that, you know, food sovereignty is not related to COVID. So I would almost think that we could think about an investment from COVID funds even.
Yep. Good. Thanks, Lorna.
Yeah, good. Yeah, thank you all.
Yeah, be good. Did Tito ever get back yet?
Oh, no, she never called back.
Henry, Henry, you on? Hank?
Are you able to call him? Okay, sounds good.
Henry?
I'm just getting on right now.
Oh,
Hey, Hank. Mike.
hey, Blake,
Hey, you're up, brother.
how you doing?
Good, be good.
Alrighty. Okay. All right, just giving a little update here for the Rice Lake area over there. We're still doing, you know, Jim and them are still doing a little bit of food boxes over there, and we're also helping out with the church every 2 weeks on a Wednesday for some boxes coming. I think it's from, you know, kind of the same thing. They're a small food box, but it's good stuff in there. So we help out with them every Wednesday. You know, we do some deliveries to, I guess, some elders that really can't get out. And then we have a lot of people just driving through the church, you know, picking up their boxes. So we get 70 boxes a week, and it goes pretty fast, but at least we're helping, you know, some in need. And I know Pine Bend sends over a person to pick up 5-6 boxes. In Ebro, we have some people that pick up, you know, 5-6 boxes for over there. So, like I say, it's pretty small, you know, quantity, but at least we get it out to some of them. We've been working on you know, a lot of the stuff around the community with, we did purchase like one of them storage containers to put some stuff, you know, for lawn mowing needs and shovels for, you know, the cemetery and stuff, weed whackers, you know, push mowers, smiling because we got a nice zero turn, 54-inch cut Cub Cadet. So we're moving right along. We were in the process of trying to get like our demo pit fixed up over there, but talked with Ray yesterday, and I guess they're working on putting a different building, you know, where the softball field is, and going to try to move that around a little bit. But all good things. You know, the clinic, he said the clinic was pushed back a couple weeks, but or a couple months, but that's okay too, you know, but at least we're going to have a clinic there in the community too, you know, for people that really can't get there. I think it'll take a lot off the CHRs, you know, running their butts off. So no idea what that is. We also have questions, you know, about powwow. You know, are we going to be able to do a powwow? I know ours comes up here Memorial Day and stuff. So we just wanted to know if we had to go ahead on that before, you know, we got a meeting here next Thursday. So just wanted to know if we're going to get our money for the powwow.
Yeah, Henry.
That's really the only.
Henry, it's Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, just put your request in, and I know work with Ed on getting all the masks and the hand sanitizer, and maybe have a checkpoint where they can come in and get their temperature checked, and, you know, do the due diligence that we do at all of our facilities and our events that we do. And just get a hold of, reach out to Ed Sensinger, and he can help you a lot too. So with all that gear.
Yeah. Okay, I've been working with Ed on quite a few stuff. I know we opened our gym over here, you know, to the young boys that wanted to play basketball on Wednesdays, and Ed helped us out with like a spray disinfectant thing, and I also have one, you know, that I use too. So we disinfect it after everything they do at the center, you know, like they had like a little dinner there for the Little Wolf family there, and we do our thing over there with Edie Smith and them on Thursday nights over there, and the disinfector, you know, really comes in handy. So I even go through the whole building with it. My office is located there too, so, you know, it's no big, you know, problem for me to disinfect the whole building once in a while with the spray gun. So otherwise, we're really doing good there. I know I just put a request out on Facebook. We're going to do like some elections. We need a couple more people on the council, so we're just going to do it ballot-wise. Probably offer some kind of thing, you know, come in and vote and get a can of coffee or something, you know. So that's kind of, you know, we need to get more people involved, especially coming up powwow time here, and got like 3 requests already, and I just threw it on there this morning. So we're moving along, we're growing, you know. I mean, I'm not gonna, you know, I guess, you know, I like helping out in the community. I like helping out everywhere else. I'm busy today. I gotta run back to Rice Lake and grab somebody and run them out to Fargo for, you know, some pretty, you know, serious stuff with grandma and her granddaughter. So if I don't get home at 5, I'll just have my wife call you guys so you can make an excuse for me. No, I'm just kidding. But that's what we all got going on. CSOs are really, really busy in the community. So, you know, I thank you guys for the opportunity of creating this position, because it's very well needed in all communities. So meet which, and that's all I got.
Thanks, Henry.
Yeah, thanks, Henry.
Yeah,
And,
thank you.
I'm sure glad you guys are looking at the Apollo. I was meant to ask you that yesterday and it just slipped my mind. But a lot of people are asking about
Yeah,
the
I
Apollo. So I'm glad you guys are
Yeah, I
gonna
did
go with it.
mine too, Ray. When you left there, it was like, man, I had all kinds of questions for Ray, and I didn't ask him one of them.
I know, that's the same here. Well, me good, Henry.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Okay, next up is, old business, the softball donations. I know that we couldn't use the money in our donations committee, but I know Maria mentioned that we could probably use the Youth and Elders Fund. I know we passed it last week. So how's council feel about that?
What's that?
Oh, that softball donation that we approved last week, they're just, I know Maria said that in the donations,
They sent their bylaws and
Yeah, they-
kind of gave a brief explanation. Why,
Oh, they can't do it.
yeah,
no, they just can't take it out of that fund, but we could pull it out of the Youth and Elders, I think. What do you guys think? I don't know, I think we are past, we're just trying to find a money source where we can pull it out of, so.
And I said too, after that came up there, there was some teams up in Rice Lake that wanted to know if they could get their institute paid into.
You get us
different
get us a proposal, Rick, then we'll get it done on here, okay? That'd be good, because I know we're gonna probably get more. So, I know
There's fine.
Just get us a proposal, so we need something on paper, so we can track it and we can approve it and get it done here. All right, you guys good with the Youth and Elder Fund? All right, thank you. Yeah, I know we get on it on there too.
Yeah.
All
Well, I
right.
just heard it last week and that's what they used to tell me, thanks to them. But I'm glad you brought it up.
Well, next up is the mask request. I know they're asking for a small donation. I know that Scott works with the Midwest, with Michigan, Iowa, Wisconsin. I know that, with the pandemic, and I think in his letter, he said that they don't qualify for any of that federal aid. So I know that, I don't know how the council feels. I know they do a lot advocating for us in the Midwest, so. He works with all the Wisconsin tribes, and of course, he was up in Red Lake here last week or 2 weeks ago, so. But I'm not sure how council feels about helping out mass. I think it's like 2,500
They're asking for
2,500.
Yeah. You want a motion, Henry?
Yeah, I'll motion.
Motion by Ray to help Massa with the donation request. Massa is the Midwest Alliance of Sovereign Tribes, so. And I know Scott is the executive director over there, so I know he does a lot of work for us. I know he's proactive in DC and advocating across the Midwest for, for us tribes, so.
And just as a note, the way they normally fund their operations is through vendors. They're inviting them to the meetings that MAST has, but MAST hasn't been able to have an in-person meeting since 2019 due to the pandemic. So that's why this request is coming in now.
Okay, motion by Ray, second. Second by Alan. All in favor?
All
I,
Motion carries. Community cleanup, I know, Michael Bevins gave me a ring here last week or earlier this week, and he was talking about the community cleanup, because we're looking at having the June powwow. And, I know we're gonna have a few extra funds floating through, so I think it's always good to keep our community clean. I know we have a good day labor program out there. They did a great job last year cleaning up some of these hot spots too for us. I know they're from Pine Point all the way to Rice Lake, so they helped out with, a lot of projects out there that we needed help. I know Rice Lake had some, was it the fencing thing or cleaning up some of the stuff around the graveyards? So they did a great job, and I think as council, we're all in favor of cleaning up our community, so. I think, is this a consensus thing, you guys know? If we just have to do consensus, or do we have to?
That's one thing with our power also, if they're gonna have it, they like to get theirs done prior to.
Okay.
They like to get it done before the power.
Then you think we have to motion it? Because it's an off year, I think.
I think before we've always just consensus.
Okay, are you guys
Well,
all
I
good
know
with
that they were wondering, are they gonna allow tires, TVs,
that? And that's what Michael asked too, and I think that's good. I think it's good.
Because it costs more too,
Yeah,
so.
because last year when they come out, that's what they found, a lot of tires,
Yeah.
old
There's a
appliances, you know,
Yeah.
that they dumped in the brush and.
But I agree,
You guys good with
Better to
that?
pay a little bit more so it doesn't get.
yeah.
Council good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, all right, well, Ray, Kurt, let Mike know that community cleanup's gonna go forward, so get some information out to the Gee. I can't hear that either. All right, next up is the American Rescue Plan Funds and Travel Enrollment Data Collection Form.
So we would need a motion on this one to submit this one to, Department of Interior, since it's self-reporting what our travel enrollment was from February 1st of 2021. And this is, what, Interior will utilize as they're developing their formulas for, distribution of funds allocated under the American Rescue Plan.
You need a motion, Glenn?
Yeah, we'll need a motion to submit it since
Okay.
it's enrollment.
Motion by Alan,
Second.
second by Raymond, all in favor?
All right.
Motion carries.
And
And
then, so now you should sign it, and then if you wanna, it should go
I
in
stapled
today.
it.
Yeah,
Let me,
Okay,
They need to upload it today.
yeah.
all right, then, next up, what else, Lenny, have anything else?
Yeah, we had one more under new business. If you wanna go into the little packet that, Maria handed out with my memo on the first page. And if you go to the last document in there, that's the Declaration of Homelessness Emergency Resolution. And so I don't know, Ray, if you wanna talk about that a little bit.
This is what Adam brought forth, and it's to, God, you know, I've been in so many meetings, I can't forget what it was about.
Right, yeah, so basically what this is just a resolution of the RBC to say that homelessness is a very serious problem on the White Earth Reservation. With the RBC recognizes that as a problem and directs the, various tribal departments and, agencies to work together to address homelessness. And then, and gets it to the status of RBC declaring it as an emergency. No, this doesn't trigger like the emergency response or emergency operations center or anything like that. This is just the RBC declaring that there's an issue with, that's creating barriers for the people of White Earth, and recognizing that and wanting to, marshal resources to address the issue.
Thank you, Lenny. I appreciate that, Lenny. I know I've been meeting with Mike and Adam quite a bit on different meetings, on different housing things, and I apologize for not really, but I do remember Adam calling me on that. And I believe it's a good thing, because now they're gonna use this resolution to even put in for a grant, another grant to, I forget which program that is.
Yeah.
But, so it's gonna be, it's a good thing that we're doing this, and I'm hoping that it'll pass today. I told Adam to get it in as soon as possible, and I'm glad he got it in, so.
Good.
And with that, Mr. Chairman, I will make the motion for that.
Okay, motion to pass the request RBC,
No, this one,
No, the declaration one.
it's a resolution.
okay, the Declaration of Homeless Emergency. Raymond, motion, and a second, all in favor?
All right,
Motion carries. Thank you, guys.
thank you, Council.
And another thing, kind of offshoot, when I talked to the governor here a couple of days ago about the overpayment, but I mentioned, with all the money that's coming down through DHS, is, one thing I brought up was Strawberry Lake, the Family Treatment Center. So I requested, something, and now we're gonna meet with them on the 30th too, so that's what they asked them about, some funding from DHS to get that, more funding to get that paid for. So that's gonna be a good thing too, so. Cool. Good. Be good, Trey. Good on the homelessness. All right. Next up I have is the consent agenda.
Yes. So, Mr. Chairman, we did get the consent agenda out, on time this week. However, there are, as I mentioned at the beginning of the meeting, there are 3 things, that I'd like to add to the consent agenda that have been handed out. They were emailed yesterday too. The first is just the memo of record regarding the purchase of the Shopko property. And, Maria, if this gets approved, can you just, put a copy of the memo attached to the resolution that's referenced?
Yeah.
Yeah, that just, certifies what the closing costs were. There's, a memorandum to request the MOU with the Minnesota Department of Agriculture on band member hemp business on the reservation. And this is because we're still working on our hemp plan. Resolution for approving a tribal member applying for the Indian Business Loan Fund, and then approving a consulting agreement with the Peterson Group. The one thing that I would also add is that the agricultural leases were put back through for the non-members, and I didn't know if council wanted to table that again, remove that from the consent agenda and table it again, because I don't think the meeting happened with land. But I just wanted to flag that for council and ask what you wanted to do with the ag leases.
I know the grow season is coming up soon.
Right.
And we don't want that to get broadened or anything, but, you know, yeah.
Maybe approve them today, but at the higher rate, but only for 1 year.
Yeah, I would say so.
You guys good with that?
So these are non-members.
The non-members, so last week you approved the members at the lower rate for 1 year.
Mhm.
And so, but there's a higher rate that we can, and the higher rate, these they're still not at market value, really. Because when we met with Colin Peterson last week, he said it should probably be like $100 an acre.
Like 120.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if we can maybe just one more week. I would just request, because I just sent a message to Farm Service Agency down in.
Yeah, we can table that for.
Just one more week. I know that
Yep.
grow season,
Yeah.
the farmers gotta get, you know, just one more, and then, because there might be an opportunity there for the tribe. You know, I would hate to get
Right.
tied down for a year and then we can't do anything. Now we gotta wait a whole nother year to do something. Just one more week, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, that's fine.
That'll be fine. And is there any other questions or issues on any of the other items listed? The one ratification, so everybody knows, is Chairman Kirby signed a letter on Wednesday this week that all the tribes signed on to, which is a letter of support for the tribal consultation legislation that's going before the Minnesota legislature right now. So then if, I think, Maria, the motion for the consent agenda today would be motion to approve the consent agenda with additions and removing the agricultural leases.
Yeah, tabling that.
The other thing, I know we had ratification on that 100,000. Scott was supposed to bring a resolution today for the casino up there. Not the casino.
The credit union, right, yeah.
I know, we were supposed to get that passed too. I know we consented to it, we just needed to get it ratified at the meeting here, so. And then we requested an audit of all their stuff and.
Yeah, and the other thing that's kind of concerning is, when Lincoln left and, we had no one to turn to, and I was like, and now I'm not sure, this is probably a Lenny question, I was like, when there are casinos asking for help in getting those ATM machines, Christy Haverkamp came up, and I'm not being mean to Christy, it's just like, it's really hard for her compliance director to come over there and go into our, it's just, I don't know, I don't know, when that's, to me, it's like, I don't know if we should have that kind of relationship with the credit union, because I know what's her name's taking over this CFO's kind of actually in charge now, but.
Who?
What's her name? Amanda? Is that her name? I don't know who the.
She's been in there for a while.
Yeah, she's kind of, I think they're looking for a new CEO, but I'm just saying that there's this kind of, the board should maybe have Christie move down and then have someone else come up that, that delicate to our,
Right.
our compliance division,
It's kind of a conflict of interest.
So, and we'll want to make sure that the controls are in place to address that.
Yeah, that's what,
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm nothing against it, I'm just saying, it
Yeah.
just kind of makes this look, I don't know, it's just, so, you know what I mean, guys, it's just like, ooh.
And Ellen, now that I remember that Scott and I did have a conversation, but it was part of other things we were talking about where this was talked about. So we'll draft that resolution for the $100,000 so that gets there. But then I think there does need to be that follow-up conversation to ensure the internal controls are in place and the audit gets done.
You guys good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so motion, did you get that motion? What's that motion say?
So it would still be the same, yeah.
I know it's like, we added a whole bunch.
Yep, I
Well,
got
a
it.
motion for the consent agenda with the additions, and then also taking out the land, the land leases. So,
Motion, Chair.
motion by Raymond, second. Second by Alan. All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you, guys. Next up is, that's it. I want to say thank you, everyone. Be good. Thank you for being with us today. I know that a lot of things are happening. I know, stay safe. You know, look at the website, Facebook. I know we're getting a lot of information out there on some of the helplines and how we can get help to our membership that's dealing with a loved one or themselves that's dealing with some sickness with either with chemicals or, you know, so we really want you to take into consideration call all of us. You know, we all have our numbers out there as council members too. So, you know, don't ever be scared not to call anyone. It's just, we just want to hear from everyone to make sure that everyone is staying safe. So, be good. You go, women. Be good.
How's the chair?